Welcome to another episode of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes 101, where we break down the game to its core so you can blow it up like a Death Star. And in today's class, we are going to go ahead and learn about energy management. In our last class session we talked about crystal management, how you get your crystals, how you can maximize your crystal usage, and today we're going to talk about how to do the same thing with your energy, how to make sure you're getting the most out of the game, how you're being very efficient with your energy. And it's a very important topic, and we're going to talk about today why this topic matters. Where does this energy even come from? Where do you use this energy? How do you make the most out of it? And then at the very end, I'm going to show you a nice little graph with a lot of fun data on a spreadsheet someone made with the farming in this game. It's a lot of fun. Science is awesome. So stick around all the way to the end so you can learn more about this topic. And before we get going, I just want to get a few housekeeping things out of the way. As a lot of you know, next week I am going back to visit EA for my second time, and there's a great possibility we might be able to interview someone. So in the description down below, you will find a survey where you can go ahead and submit your questions on what you want me to ask whomever the lucky person is for my interview. But let's get right into it today. And why is this topic important? Who cares about energy? Well, just like crystals, energy is another really core backbone part of the game. It's what you use to progress in the game. It's what you use to get your stuff. You get your shards, you get your gear, some credits, training droids, sometimes ability mats. So many things in here that you need to progress in this game and expand your inventory. It's a really important part. People ask me, why do you have so much gear? Why do you have so many characters? Well, because I'm very efficient with how I use my credits, and I've also been playing for quite a long time, almost a year now, which is crazy to think about. So the reason why this is also important is because you want to make sure you help your guild out. A lot of people don't know, but your activity with the battles also contributes to your guild. You really want to try to aim for, you can't see it right now because my lovely face is in the way, but towards the bottom here, right next to that nice little eye in the bottom left corner, it shows you your total guild tickets you're contributing on a daily basis, and to the right it shows you the total your guild has produced. The way the tickets go up is one, the amount of activity you're doing on a daily basis, how many battles you're doing, how much energy you're spending. And just to tell you really quick, if you at least just spend 50 crystals on energy refreshes, which if you saw my last video, I definitely recommend you use your crystals for energy. Probably my biggest recommendation. Just spending 50 crystals will be enough for you to get 600 raid tickets, and obviously the more raid tickets your guild can produce, the more, well, I'm not going to say AAT raids because we don't have a problem with that because we never get to use those tickets, but the Rancor raid is very important. The more Rancor raids you do, the better gear you get, more Han Solo shards you get, and you know, it kind of rolls from there. You kind of get the point. So that's another reason why you want to be good with your energy, because it helps not just you, but your guild as well. And you also want to be able to farm gear as fast as possible. Gear is a pain to farm in this game. So you want to kind of make sure, you know, like for example, I'm farming the B2 Super Battle Droid both in the Cantina and for my gear. So for example, we'll talk about this in a little bit, but I want to get this right here, the little Mark III holo projectors. But do I go for the 8th, the one that says the energy costs 8, or do I go for the one that says, you know, the energy costs 10? These are questions we're going to address today. But before we can do that, before we get to this fun stuff, let's go ahead and talk about where does this energy come from. And there's two types of energies in this game. Normal energy is this guy up here. It is your yellow energy. And all that is, that's the reason why it's normal, because it's used for a lot of things. It's used for your gear, doing battles, and this is your more common gear, not your gear, your more common energy you get. It refreshes every 6 minutes. You get 1 energy for every 6 minutes, so that means in a full day you'll get 240 normal energy for free, just from it normally accruing every 6 minutes. And then on over here we have your Cantina Energy, and this is the very valuable energy that you use for mods, and you also use it for the Cantina table. So two big things right there for 1 energy. And the thing is, this is a very rare form of energy. It takes 12 minutes to get 1 energy of this. So every 12 minutes you'll see your little bank go from, let's say, 120 to 121. So it definitely takes a lot longer. So in a mathematical perspective, you'll get 117 of this energy per day for free, just from it normally accruing. We'll talk about the refresh costs in a second, but I want to keep talking about the energy you get for free, because maybe you guys don't want to spend a single crystal, so I want to make sure you're educated on how much energy you're getting for free on a daily basis. So besides the normal accrual rate of the 6 minutes versus the 12 minutes, you also get free bonus energy, which I believe I just got right now. Every single day you get 3 normal energy for free. You get 3 bundles of 45 normal energy every day, and you get one bundle of 45 Cantina Energy every day, and that's usually around the first midday refresh. Mine is at 12 o'clock p.m. So let me go ahead and show you. So as you see, my activities, not activities, but everything just refreshed here, and I got a free 45 energy. So this is actually perfect. We'll use this in our video today. So I'm going to claim it, and I just went from 65 normal energy to 110. So just to tally everything up here, between the free 45 Cantina Energy you get from the bundle, as well as the 135 normal energy from the 3 bundles, we are looking at this in total. So in terms of free energy on a day-to-day basis, normal energy, you're looking at about 375 for free, and that's combining the accrual that happens just from the time going by, as well as the free bundles of energy, which I just showed you a few moments ago. So in total, let's say you're doing just 8 battles that require 8 energy. That is 47 battles for free each and every day without you having to spend any crystals on refreshes. Now in Cantina Energy, when combining the accrual rate of 12 minutes per 1 energy plus the free 45 Cantina Energy on a daily basis, you are getting 252 Cantina Energy, which is definitely it's a nice little bundle right there. And to put that into perspective, if you are farming, let's say for example, I don't know, let's say you are, I don't know, let's get a good character here, Lando. Let's say you're farming Lando on the very first string of battles at 8 energy. You're going to be able to farm him 32 times in a day. So you can do this battle 32 times for free without refreshing. But let's say you want to go beyond that and you want to get more energy, which I definitely recommend. Best way to spend your crystals is to use it on energy. One of the best ways to be a free-to-play player in this game. So how it works with the refreshes, and what I mean by refresh is it means that you're manually forcing it to give you energy. So when you spend X amount of crystals, you will get, for example, we are looking at the normal energy refresh right now. When you spend it, right now it says 100, I'll explain that in a second, but when you refresh it, you'll get 120 energy, and then you'll also get 20 sim tickets, and the sim tickets are used to pretty much just speed through the battles without you actually having to play it. And the refresh cost for this, for the normal energy, it starts off by being a 50 crystals. So, 50 crystals for the first refresh, 50 crystals for the second refresh, and that's normally where I stop daily. And as you see, the next refresh is 100 crystals. And then from here, it goes from 100, 100, 200, 200, 400, 400, and so on and so forth. So it keeps doubling and eventually kind of stops at a threshold. I believe I want to say 800 or 1600. Might be wrong in that. Not too many people go to that extent. Likewise, with the Cantina Energy, it's much more expensive. It kind of builds upon that. Cantina Energy is very valuable in this game. So how this starts is the first refresh costs 100 crystals, second refresh costs 100 crystals, and then it goes to 200, 200, 400, 400, 800, 800. So we talked about where does this energy come from. Now, where is this energy used? And this energy is used on quite a few tables. Let's first off talk about your normal energy, because that's the energy you first play with in the game. Oh, and also I forgot to mention, your energy also comes from when you're leveling up. When you level up, you get a nice burst of energy. You get a lot of normal energy, a lot of Cantina Energy, and it feels good, especially when you're first starting. When you're going from like 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5, you're getting all this energy and it feels really good. So that's another way you can get energy for free, is just by leveling up. Obviously, once you get to level 83 like I am, you don't level up as much, and then once you hit level 85, you won't be getting that nice burst of energy for a while. So going back to here, your normal energy is used for, well, your light side battles right here. So when you first start your little adventure in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, you're going to go ahead and use it. And you see right here, it costs 6 energy to do this battle. And then eventually it gets higher and higher. Then you get to 8, and then you get to 10, and then eventually 12, and you kind of get the point. So pretty much for your normal battles, and this is where you farm your gear primarily, when you do your normal light side battles. And there's also normal and hard. Dark side battles, same drill, just a different end of the force spectrum. We're moving on beyond that. Let's talk about your Cantina Energy. Where is that used? Well, it's used on the Cantina table, probably my favorite table in the game. You can get a lot of great characters here. And let's see, for example, I just had Lando a second ago. Where are you? There's my buddy. The mustache it's what makes him such an awesome character in this game. But yeah, the Cantina Energy, it's used for pretty much this main table as well as the second table, which I'll show you. And when you play around here, you get character shards. You can have the chance to get ability mats, training droids, sim tickets, Cantina currency, which is very important. We'll talk about the math behind that, credits, and experience. So what are you guaranteed when you're playing on this particular table? Well, you're guaranteed a couple things. You're not guaranteed any of these first 4 items. You're not guaranteed to get a shard or mats, but you are guaranteed to get some droids, as well as the Cantina currency, and you're also guaranteed the credits and the experience. Those are a given. You'll definitely get those, but the other things that I mentioned at the beginning, those are all up for random grabs. And if you want to know the drop rates, we'll show you the spreadsheet in a second. But when you look on average, you are going to be getting a 33% drop rate. And again, I'll be showing you the data in a couple seconds that someone did out there. It looks phenomenal, and it really gets the point across. And so so I talked about what you can get here. Now here comes the thing. Let me go ahead and find Lando, because I know he has 2 different battles you can farm him on. Now, as you can see, you can farm him on either the battle 1E or battle 5F. Well, which one do you want to go to? That's a big question. That's a huge question people need to know. Well, I want to do some math first. So, as I mentioned with the light side battles, as you move up, the battles get more expensive in terms of energy cost. You got 10, then it goes to 12, then it goes to 16, and I believe that is the max right now. 16 energy is the max cost as of now. So how much stuff are you gonna get? Well, if you're doing the ones that require 8 energy, here's what you're gonna get. Let's say you refresh your energy, you're gonna get 120 energy, no matter if it's Cantina Energy or normal. So we're just gonna work off 120 energy. So when you're playing on this node, which requires 8 energy per battle, you're gonna get about 195 Cantina currency, and on this particular string of battles, you'll be getting a decent amount of credits. I mean, for a beginner player, it is a lot. You can get some free gear from the shipments and whatnot, but it all depends which one you're playing on. Like, yeah, for example, here I think I did the math on this particular table. After 10 battles, you'll be getting 15,000 credits, and obviously, when you do that 10 times over, that's 150,000 credits. For a beginner person, that can get you quite a long way. So that's one consideration, but another thing to consider is that with the lower energy cost, you're going to get more attempts to play, and then more attempts to play means a higher chance or the higher probability you're going to get more shards. We'll talk about that, talk about the math a little bit more once I kind of finish the rest here. But then let's say you go here, when you're doing the battles that require 10 energy, you're looking at about 204 Cantina Energy, Cantina currency you're getting, which is what's used to, buy stuff out of here, which is a very important table. And then you're also looking at getting about 30,000 credits. So as you're noticing, the more energy you're spending, the more Cantina currency you're getting, and the more credits you're getting. Let's move on to battles that require 12 energy. Here, you're looking at about 210 Cantina currency and about 45,000 credits. And again, all these numbers are based off just using 120 energy, because that's what one refresh will get you. And lastly, with the 16 energy, it gets a bit wonky, because 120 divided by 16 only comes out to 7.5, doesn't come up to a nice number. So we're just going to work off 7.5. And if you are working with that number, you'll be getting the same amount of Cantina currency as a battle at 12 energy, which is about 210. If you end up only doing 7 battles, you'll be getting 196 Cantina currency, which is worse than playing on a battle which requires 12 energy. But then if you get about 8 battles at 16 energy, you'll be getting about 224 Cantina energy, which is the best case scenario. But more often than not, when you refresh and you do the energy that requires 16, you'll be getting about 7.5 battles out of that, which will put you at par in terms of Cantina currency with the previous string of battles, which only require 12 energy. So, but as you can see here, you are getting less and less of attempts. So on this particular battle with Anakin Skywalker, you're only going to get about 7.5 battles. Versus, let's say you're playing on the battle that requires 10 energy, you're getting 12 battles. So you're going to get about 4 shards on that first, the Cantina that requires 12 energy, and then the one that only gets you 7.5 battles, you're going to probably get a much smaller amount of shards. It's just how the math works out. 33% of 7.5 is lower than 33% of 12 battles. So that's kind of how that works, and then if you do the higher battles, you have a better likelihood of getting more Cantina currency, which you can farm a lot of great characters in here, and I'm currently working on Ahsoka Tano. But let's go back to that big question on with Lando for a particular example. Should I do the one that requires 8 energy or 12 energy? Well, I have a list of questions you got to ask yourself because it really varies. I change my farming habits based on my current needs. So here's a list of questions I need you to ask yourself. Do you need more shards or gear from a particular battle? Do you need mods? That's a big question. We haven't talked about that just yet. Do you need more Cantina currency? Do you need more credits? Do you need more training droids, experience, ability mats? Those are pretty much the big questions you have to ask yourself. So if you need to farm more shards and gear, then you want to battle at the lower end. So you want to battle where it only requires 8 energy, because 120 divided by 8 means more battles, and more battles means a higher probability you're going to get some more, not a higher probability, but statistically you will get more shards versus battling on the one that requires 12 energy. So keep that in mind. Same thing with gear. Let's go ahead and find my B2 Super Battle Droid, which is my current project I've been working on for the past couple weeks now. I need the holo projectors. Well, what do? Do I go to the Battle 8, or not Battle 8, the one that requires 8 energy, or do I go to the one that requires 10 energy? Again, it comes down to what your needs are. If you need more credits, if you need more experience, then you want to go ahead and battle on the bigger ones, because you get more credits, you get more training droids. And another consideration when farming gear is, what other gear do I need? I know the holo projectors are my #1 thing I need right now, but do I need, let's say, the Mark IV thermal detonators? That's an important question. I believe Emperor Palpatine needs a bunch of these. So if you need to get the projectors, you want to also look and see what else do I need from here? Do I need some of these syringes? I only have 26 of them, so maybe I'd farm on that particular battle because I need more of them. Or do I not care that much about how much credits I'm getting, how many droids I'm getting, or other gear? I just solely care about the particular gear I want, which is this purple gear right here. Then currently I'm farming at the lower end of the spectrum because I have more chances to get more pieces of this gear. Now let's go ahead, before I forget, we're going to talk about the mods, because it's a very tough question. A lot of people ask me, hey, should I be farming characters or should I be farming mods? And the quick answer is both, kind of. Let me explain what I mean by both. One is, you want to make sure you have a good roster. You want to make sure you have some good characters, but at the same time, just having the character isn't enough anymore. You need to go ahead and go beyond that and get mods. And mods are a little bit different when it comes to farming. The whole analogy, quality over quantity, is definitely the motto to go here. So yeah, you can go ahead and farm farm mods at 10 energy, but you're going to be getting a bunch of like 1 dot mods, 2 dot mods, barely 3 dot mods. Let me double check the rewards here. Yeah, so you're getting very low. You only have a chance, first of all, the same as the shard rate, as I've seen. It's about 33% to get a mod. And then you also have the whole factor of, well, what type of mod am I going to get? Is it a 1, 2, or 3 dot mod? So here you want to try to complete all the battles and do the ones that require 16 energy, because this is where you can get the good 4 and 5 dot mods, and you can get those crazy plus 30 something speed. That's what you're looking for. So my quick answer to this is, first off, if you're a starting player, focus on getting a couple good characters. Once you have a nice stream of line of characters that can participate in arena, go here, farm at the highest node possible. If it's 16 or 12, you want to try to get to one of those highest guys. And what I did when mods came out is I farmed mods nonstop for 2 weeks to make sure I got a good random sample of mods. I think I got about, I don't know, 200 mods or something like that. I can't remember the exact number. And out of those 200, you're bound to get a couple of good ones, which I have. I've gotten mods that got me plus 30 something speed, mods that gave me like plus 30 something % of critical damage. Those are the mods you really want to get, especially the speed ones. Speed is a huge priority in this game. You want your Stormtrooper Han to go first. You want your Poe to go first. That's a huge priority in this game. So different from the Cantina table. Cantina is more quantity over quality, and here it's more quality over quantity big time, and I cannot think of a reason why you would not want to farm at the higher end of the spectrum. People in Arena who have some crazy mods. I have a person of Poe on my server that's like 260 something speed, and it's insane. I don't have mods like that. I got mods that make me kind of get by just fine. And look at that, we have a client restart, but this is actually a perfect segue because I want to show you the data now for this game that I found. Now again, as I said, this is not data that I created. I was about to, but then I realized it would take me a while to get a good sample of battles for you guys, but I actually found this on Reddit. I'm gonna probably butcher their name. Their name is Pyoav. I'm sorry if I messed up your name, really bad at it, but they did a great job. They took a sample of 2 months of farming. This was just posted in September. I'll link them in the description so you can go ahead and see this yourself and check out this table on your own. But this really summarizes how farming works in this game. This first table you have right here, this kind of just breaks down all these big categories except mods. I do not see mods in here. But as you can see, for shards, you have about a 33% drop rate. And I've seen other people who've done statistical studies on this, and it's always around 33, 32, 31, 35, 34. And when you get a nice large sample. And now as you see, the rest of the stuff isn't, I mean up to the mats, it's not really important. You get about a 10% drop rate for sim tickets. You get about 18% for the Mark 1 mats. These first two aren't important, but the Mark 3 mats, the ones that are a bit more important, you're only getting about a 3 to 5% drop rate. But now, then when you're farming your gear, this is the important stuff. When you're looking at, I think this should be white gear instead of gray. So you have your gray, green, blue. You're looking at around, 56%, 40% for these three. So they're much more common to get. And then you get your purple gear, which is at 25%. So definitely a lower probability of getting this particular gear. So that's why I tell you guys to, if you're farming gear like I am, I want the hollow projectors. I farm at the lower end of the spectrum because I get more chances to battle. And then more battles means I have more chances to get more shards. That's why farming stun cuffs, the purple stun cuffs, they're very hard to come by because the energy is pretty expensive for them. And then the drop rate is around 25% on average. This is just another little depiction on how the drop rates work. They show you their sample size. 1800 is a great sample size for shards, for battles. 32% drop rate, and so on and so forth. So this is a great sample. They have a couple thousand battles, and it really helps kind of put it in perspective how often this stuff is going to fall. They also have a nice little category for each of the battles. Like they have 1C light side, 1D light side, and so on and so forth. And they show you the quantity of battles, the credits, the sim tickets they get, the droids they get, and the gear they get. So this is actually really great if you want to kind of learn more about a particular battle. It goes all the way up to 8H, which is it's not as recent because we have the level 9 stuff unlocked, but it's still pretty good. And they kind of show you the total amount of battles and the drop rates for all that stuff. So check that out. And then the Cantina Battles, this is pretty much just as important. Shows you the battle. They pretty much have a battle for each of the various energy. You got your 8, 10, 12, and 16. And they show you the Cantina currents they earned, the credits, the training droids, and pretty much their drop rates as well. So again, I just kind of mentioned this 33% drop rate for mods and Cantina shards, but this is pretty much where the math is coming from. So really great spreadsheet. Again, this isn't something I made. I could have made something like this, but it would take 2 months to get back to you guys in this video. So if you guys check out this little link in the description for the spreadsheet. It's amazing, kind of gets down to the main point. And it just kind of helps you learn the science in the game, because the game is definitely based on science, statistics, and probability. And it's kind of cool seeing all that be put into numbers, which kind of puts the picture in your head on how this works. So I hope this helped you guys overall with your farming, your energy management. We're going to talk more about character farming later on. Today, I just wanted to teach you guys what the energy is used for and how you can use it as efficiently as possible. But as always, guys, thank you for watching. Leave a like, comment down below, subscribe, and we'll talk again later. Peace out.